Fight fans, fight fans, fight fans. A friend of mine asked me, why doesn't Deontay Wilder get the notoriety like Anthony Joshua? And we've been through this several times, but I pretty much broke it down to him and I'm sharing it with you guys. Deontay Wilder is a boxer. His job was to get hired to fight the person in front of him. Unfortunately, the people that they put and he was signed to fight were lesser known people. Let's face it, they were lesser known people. They didn't have a name themselves. No one knew who they were. A lot of these fights were smaller venues, so he did a lot of fighting. He fought 4 or 5 times a year against people that were cab drivers, had extra jobs. You know what I mean? Boxing was somewhat of a second line of payment for these guys of income. And that's basically, and he won these purses, then he went back home. He was satisfied with the money that he had and he went back home. He wasn't a person that was marketed. He was a person he was just a boxer. That's it. That's all he was. He was a boxer. And when they gradually, slow, like molasses in the wintertime, raised his opposition level, when they slowly did that, he started getting known. Because people were like, man, who is this tall basketball player? Man, he got a hellified right hand. He's going to be something. I don't know what that something is, but he's going to be something. And you kept seeing him, and he fought guys, and he put them away. But one thing that his management wasn't doing, they wasn't promoting him and getting his name out there. No one knew who he was at that time. A lot of people still don't. Thank God people know who he is, or the people that didn't know knows. Like, it's funny. People think, oh, well, you're a Deontay Wilder hater. No, I'm not. Because really a lot of my videos have helped this dude raise his profile, because he was once in negotiations, or probably still in negotiations, I don't know, to fight Anthony Joshua. That is more known in another place, in another country, but is hugely popular in his own country because they did it the right way, and I'll get to that later. But back to Deontay. Deontay wasn't really marketed. They never would have wanted to put him up for sponsorships. You know what I mean? They in fact hid him from the popular boxing platforms. They didn't want to push him into a huge fight right away. They might have thought that was a good idea for them, because they knew, okay, there's a lot of things that we have to iron out with this kid before we bring him to someone like Klitschko, because we don't want him embarrassed like they did him in the Olympics. So the Olympics was a letdown for Deontay. The Bronze Bomber himself, yes, that's his nickname. He titles that, but there's meaning behind it. The Bronze Bomber stands for his bronze medal that he received. He was knocked out, in the finals. He was knocked out. That's why he received the bronze. He was 3rd place. Okay, so that's shined upon, but for the way he lost, it's really not, because he looks at it as a win. I got knocked out, but I got the bronze by default. Okay, I got the bronze because I didn't win 1st or 2nd. If you'd have told someone like Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather, 2 black men from America that were cheated because they had massive talent, and we look at both of those damn fights, both of those guys kicked ass, and they deserved the gold Olympic medal, and they didn't get it, and that was wrong. So where Deontay was nowhere near that talent, all right? He was nowhere near that. He just got knocked out and beat up. You know what I mean? So, yes, he was the Bronze Bomber simply because of that. So his platform was wrong. But when they started pro, they knew, okay, this guy has a lot to learn. So they slowly carried him and carried him and carried him and carried him and carried him. The only problem, they carried him too long. Too long. Again, I really don't think it was intentional. I know they intentionally carried him, but I don't think they intentionally stunted his career like like they thought. They thought, well, we're gonna, keep him fighting these type of opposition, these type of fighters, and get, you know what I mean? This dude been doing this for 10 years. That's 10 years is a long time. Man, look, in a person's career, 10 years is when they retire. So at the third or fourth year, definitely from year 5, they're in there with somebody that defines them. That fight, not at 40 wins. You get to 40 wins and you ain't fought the people that define you. You know what I mean? Think about Oscar De La Hoya. Think about Felix Trinidad. Think about these fighters. They were 26-0 or 27-0, and they fought these guys that defined them. That one guy that they were like, hey, can you beat that guy? Yeah, you beat the Obakars. You know what I'm saying? But can you beat I Corte? You know what I mean? If you can beat I Corte, can you beat Felix Trinidad? You know what I mean? Ooh, Sugar Shane beat you in the Olympics. Can you beat Sugar Shane? And these things defined a fighter, that placed a fighter in a particular ranking, okay? Showed this fighter, oh, well, he can beat that guy, but he had problems with that guy. You know what I mean? So, like Canelo was similar because he had a lot of fights by the time he fought Floyd. But by the time he fought Floyd, he'd already fought Sugar Shane. He fought a lot of fighters that defined him as a fight. But he had the promotional backing. He had Oscar De La Hoya that took care of this guy. You know what I'm saying? So he promoted him the right way. Now look at Canelo now. You know what I'm saying? He's in all types of shit. He's endorsed too, heavily endorsed by a lot of endorsements. You know what I mean? That's how you do it. They should have at least tried to, okay, well, hey, he's Alabama or something like that, or something, chopping wood or something, axes, you know what I mean? This brand of, he should have had some type of endorsements to put him in a position, to put him in front of a camera to show who this guy is. The WBC heavyweight champion of the world from Alabama likes these type of axes, you know what I mean? The Logan axe, you know what I mean? There's something that showed this guy and promoted this guy, to get him familiar with the general public, okay? So those are the things that should have happened. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things. And it didn't happen. That's why Deontay is where he is today. You know what I mean? Even when he beat Luis King Kong Ortiz, okay, if you're not a boxing fan, you really didn't even know if that fight happened. I seen that fight in Austin when I was working on Fear the Walking Dead, and I saw this fight. And I was in Twin Peaks, okay? And it's kind of like Buffalo Wild Wings, but, right like that kind of place. But I seen it at a bar, and I was glad in Austin they were actually able to show it because that doesn't happen in a lot of places, so that was rare. That's why I like Twin Peaks, you know what I mean? But I seen that fight there. And people saw who he was, but I mean, did people really remember his name? You know what I'm saying? Deontay Wilder, But I just think they did it wrong. And then for that reason, I feel bad for him. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't see that when he looks across and he looks at Anthony Joshua doing this, that, and the other, and he sees the money that this guy is bringing in, he can't help but be envy of that. I feel, you know what I'm saying? He can say all day, hey, I'm blessed, I'm happy, I'm this, I'm that. Well, when it came down to you wanting to fight with the money they offered you, you were pissed off. That alone indicates to me that there was some envy there. That was something that he was expecting because he knew what that guy made. Now, let's say if Anthony Joshua wasn't accustomed to making the money that he made, and he made $2 or $3 million, you know what I'm saying? And they offered him, oh, we'll offer you $4 million to fight Anthony Joshua because, I think that's, a suitable amount for you. You know what I mean? To make this fight unification happen. If it was on a smaller platform, he would have had no problem taking even with something way under that, because that's what he made. But he knew the platform was bigger because he was over there in the UK. He's seen how they did it in the UK. You know what I'm saying? He's seen that fight, the lights and shit. You know what I mean? The last time he was over there in Ireland, he got all that love. He lost his voice, right? He was so damn happy he lost his voice because all the love and the fame that he didn't get over here. You can't go to New York and people running, Deontay, the bronze bomber. That's the bronze bomber, y'all, look, there he is. He didn't have to run or, you know what I mean, take a bunch of selfies and shit with people. He had to say, hey, I'm Deontay Wilder, I'm the bronze bomber, motherfuckers. You know, y'all don't know me. You know, no, we don't. So, you know, and he knew that when he was there. So he knew what to expect. And his handlers knew what to expect. So, yeah, it was a money grab on their end. But unfortunately, because of them, that's demanding Deontay to get more money, they are the reasons Deontay's career is where it's at. You know what I mean? So I'm going to stop with that because I could go on and on about the promotional company and the mistakes that they made. But you guys tell me what you think about this. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.